All right. How's it going, YouTube? If you like my videos, please do a like and a subscribe. Maybe leave a comment to help with the algorithm so I can get a little bit more subscribers. Today is July 16th, 2024, and we have another edition of What's Brewing? So on June 3rd, I did a video of my last brew that I was doing, and that brew has gone through its secondary and has already been bottled. So I have a cold bottle here. I have a couple of 1 liter bottles. It's really clear. Can't really tell because there's a little bit of adhesive from old labels on these bottles. But when I pour it into this glass, you'll see. So what I ended up doing was basically a hydrometer that ended up about 7% alcohol by volume. I will put the recipe in the description down below for that previous brew, and then I'll let you know what's going on here with the new brew that I have going as well. And we're going to go ahead and do a tasting of that hydromel. A hydromel doesn't need to age very long before you taste it. And so the hydromel ended up becoming, what I did to it was I made an oaked vanilla cacao nib with a slight hint of cinnamon hydromel. And it ended up about 7% alcohol, about 6.5% to 7%. So we go ahead and pop this open. I put this in the fridge last night. I did the bottling on July 14th, so that was 2 days ago. We'll go ahead and give a pour. I'll come up here and give you a little bit of a look at it so you can see how nice and clear that looks. Let me get behind the camera so I can see how it's looking with you. See that? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? So I did a turbo clear on that right around July 3rd, before 4th of July, and then I let it sit. Just let the turbo clear in there sit for about another 11 days before I decided to bottle it. Here, let's go ahead and put some more in there. What do you think? Should we drink all of this? We'll find out. So, definitely getting that honey smell off of it. I let this go dry. We can do a hydrometer test with one of these other 2 liters that I have here. These 2 liters are going to be distilled, and then I'm going to put them into my honey low wines. I'm going to do a honey whiskey, basically, from the bottom of my fermenter, my last 2 bottles from each ferment. My last little bit will end up being distilled, and then I'll mix all that together into low wines. I have some low wines here from another brew that I did. See, these are low wines that were distilled from another brew. I distilled a whole gallon that I didn't think turned out right, but it was still a honey mead, and so I'll use those alcohols in a whiskey with these as well. I'll distill that off. We can do a hydrometer test here and see exactly how dry it went. So I didn't do any back sweetening on this. I let it sit in the fridge overnight. I drank some of this warm the other day after cleaning my pot still. My little air still that I have here. Let me get the soda stream out of the way. And I was drinking it when it was warm and when there was a hint of vinegar in the air. And so I decided to let it sit overnight and into today and get nice and cold so we can try it. So you get a little bit of a, you can smell that oak in there and that vanilla. A little bit of that cacao nib, a little chocolate in there. Let's taste it. It's really smooth. Like, you don't get a sharp alcohol bite off of this. It's really nice. I think it would be better if I put it through the soda stream and bubbled it up, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to drink it flat. But you can definitely tell it's on the dry side. It's not semi-sweet or sweet. I didn't do any back sweetening on this. It tastes really good. So I'll put the recipe in the description down below so that you can make this yourself at home. everything I did, from beginning of brewing to the end of the brewing and bottling, with details in between like the fermentation temperatures, etc. Do keep in mind that in this recipe I was brewing this at over 1 mile of elevation, so I'm around 5,400 feet elevation where I'm at here in Littleton, Colorado, and I'll put those details down below. Now what I have going behind me, let me grab the camera so you can see up close. What I have going on behind me here is a new brew that's going. I'm using lalvin D47 yeast. I have 17 cups of orange blossom honey in there, as well as 6 cups of Wellington wildflower honey from Wellington, Colorado. And you can see here I am right around the 6-gallon mark on this. So I have about 1.5 gallons of honey in there. And this one I'm also going to let it go dry. The gravity reading on this one that's brewing right now, starting out at 68 degrees Fahrenheit, was 1.100 gravity reading. So that's about 11.25% alcohol when it goes dry. And I'll put the recipe for this as well as I started it into the description, so you can start that brew as well if you want to and follow along on that brew. So you adjust the camera here. I really hope you enjoy these videos. This brew tastes really good. I don't have to let it age very long. I got 17 liters of final product for drinking, as well as about 2 liters for distillation. There's a little bit of sediment and some little bits of vanilla bean and a little bit of cacao nib that got into the bottom of these bottles when I was doing my auto siphon. And so that's why I decided to just go ahead and distill these down, these last 2 bottles, and put it in with my honey low wines, so that I could do a distillate later on and make hopefully about 1 liter of a honey whiskey that I can age on oak for a little bit later on. So I really appreciate you tuning in. I'll put that recipe in for the oaked vanilla cacao nib mead, so you can recreate this yourself and enjoy this at home. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.